Okay. I'll to the flag of the United States of America.
Thank you all. Welcome to the December 20th, 2023. Sorry, I believe it's December Communication Committee meeting. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Our first order of business is to approve the minutes for the November 2023 meeting. Did receive a suggested correction from Holly. Did everybody receive that? Yeah. Suggestions? Holly, I do agree that corrections were. Are these the printed suggestions in front of us as well? So the suggestions were to just confirm who was in attendance. Any comments or suggestions or additions to the minutes? No. I'd like to make a motion that we approve the minutes in front of us as is for November 15th, 2023 meeting. Second. We have a motion, we have a second. All in favor, please indicate saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Much. Approved. Our next order of business is for public discussion. This time we always ask members of the public, either online or in person, or members of the committee, if they have any comments or anything they'd like to bring forward, feel free to do so. Okay, moving on to old business. Last month, we were working on our resident welcome letter and packet. So that was something we all put together here. What we wanted to do is first order is review the new resident list analysis, and we'll complete a draft letter for Chairman Bergman, confirm the packet contents to be recommended, and confirm recommendation for a new resident website landing page. Okay, first order, review the new resident list analysis. John, you brought to us the leads, and you want to give a quick overview of that again? I know you sent us some more information, which I appreciate. Back there, it's there first. So one of these. Okay, I fully agree with that. Thank you.
So, you know, it was a question of, I mean, how good is the list? I mean, if we purchase the list through List Please, I mean, how good is the result? So I used a variety of sources, the Montgomery County courthouse records, but that only shows you sales, not people moving, you know, renters and things like that. So it's only part of the picture. And then I used some other sites to try and validate it. You know, as we said last week, you know, short of knocking on doors and saying, "Hey, did you move in recently?" Yeah. So I mean, the summary at the bottom of this page is you know, what I ended up on, what I ended up with, right? As we said, you know, last month, the parameter is a radius, and I just picked something that I thought was in the middle of Harleysville, and so that can be adjusted. So some of the addresses are outside of what we would probably want, Telford, Lansdale, you know, a couple things like that. Some of them didn't make sense to me. Right? The no information, the listing that seemed to be going back to 2009, some addresses that didn't seem to have any recent sale or things, and again, they could be rentals, right? I mean, you know, it doesn't have to be a sale, right? But that's, you know, that's what I ended up with. So they're the counts that I came up with out of the list that we got. Right? And so I think the question is, you know, how valid do we think the list is? Is it something we can work with? I think we agreed last month that you're not going to be able to take a list like this and just use it, right? There's probably some amount of editing, if nothing else, to go through and scratch out the Lansdales and the Telfords, right?
For the Harleysville,
right. But right, if you're doing it every 3 months or every 6 months, and the volume is 60, 100, I mean, you know, let's say less than 100, right? Then, you know, would it be, you know, an inconvenience to do that, to get the list, go through it, you know, scratch out what you don't think fits, nail it, as the best list we can. So that's the analysis I did, and what we have to consider in terms of, is it a valid source for new residents or not, right? So
I think I have an answer.
And real quick,
Some words on the search for failed. Even for ourselves. So from the beginning of June till the end until today, there are 149 transfers of property with name and address. There you go.
that's for our 149 in Montgomery County or
Sulphur Township.
new residents.
Addresses, names. Some of them, it gives you all the information, including how much they paid for their home. The one thing is, some of them are like, you're never sure. Like, it could have changed hands internally. There could have been a divorce in the family, causing someone to pay someone $1 for the sale of home. So those are ones I don't know if you'd want to send them to. There are some that actually don't have an address on them. They're just a street, guessing it's empty land, vacant land. But there's 149 of every single sale that happened in Lower Sulphur Township from the beginning of June.
And so again, you're not going to get a perfect list, right? I mean, it sounds like that list may have sales or movement even within the township, right? Where theoretically, at least as advertised, this list is only if their post office changed. Harleysville, or that circumference, right? It can't be a move from within the group, right? This one seems to include rentals, right? That one probably
not
right.
So it's free.
So yeah, exactly. So it's pros and cons of list. Neither one's going to be perfect. So it's like, well, if we're going to recommend the use of one, which
maybe you can reference that.
That's what I was just thinking as well. Well, first of all, thank you and I know we talked about this last time, the research you did on that and sense of trying it out there. We appreciate that too. And Holly, thank you for that as well.
Oh, sure. I actually fumbled on it the other day.
This is sort of that's how we've gotten most of our best stuff here. We're like, okay, let's do this one. Thank you. That's great. And John, you actually bring up a great point that leads to this suggestion as well. And I'll ask it to me your thought. Right away, Holly, what you said, I agree. It's prop preference. We might as well. Should we continue to pay for this one? What do we get out of this that we don't get out of that? I think that's one of the first things we should talk about. Renters is a big one. Is there anything else that we get from this list that we wouldn't get from that you think of?
Well, like the other point I made, I think what you don't get are the transfers in name only, or the zero sales, or I moved from this address in Harleysville to this address. So that may show up there, but it's not supposed to show up on this list.
Right.
And so some of those kinds of differences.
The number was interesting, it's higher.
Yeah.
It was definitely much higher there. So that definitely covers a lot more. I think, and I did have some discussions, as I said, with various supervisors regarding this. They didn't see that as a big fee for what we can get out of it to reach people. In regards to something that might be $1 share same household, I don't think we could look at the price of how much it would be to still send, because it's not something that's going to happen every year. So, okay, maybe they're still there. Well, they just got another friendly reminder, if anything else. If it's not anything, that'd be something I would suggest. Any other suggestions on this or comments so far? This is great information, by the way, to hear. I like the positive.
Holly, was that how did you limit it geographically? Is that like this one was a radius, right? You get to pick a,
Sure. Every single municipality in the Garment County has a parcel ID. Lower Sulphur parcel IDs start with 50, every single one of them. So that's how they.
So it
As
really,
soon as you're into skip back is like 60, and I think Upper Sulphur is 34, or Franklin, I mean, they all have their own unique 2-digit start to their parcel IDs.
That is definitively Lower South right there.
Right.
Great, okay. Question. Any other questions for John or Holly here? So the next step, I suppose, would be is, again, should the use of that be recommended is what the objective we're trying to decide. And I think that's what the discussion should be. With this information, do we want to table this, see where we are? I don't want to push it too far where we've come along, but
I don't know, it's, you know, for $60 a shot or, you know, something like that. Again, we really haven't decided on, is this every 3 months, and every 6 months, and every year, but with that. But it's an interesting concept to propose to the board that, hey, we're gonna use both of these lists, right? And, you know, we'll cross-reference both.
I'm with that. I'm with saying, here's what we have for free. This is why we would do this. We tried it out for this much money. And as I said, in the discussions I had the same reaction. It's not a lot of money as to what we could get.
If you do it a couple of times and you find you don't need the other one, stop doing it.
right, but I think the idea of cross-referencing is good, because we don't want to be sending mailings to people that are not back or Sumter Township will get annoying.
Right.
So I think we need to be assured that there, you know, whatever we're sending it to is indeed a Lower Sumter Township, right?
Yeah,
I like the idea of, as I said, it's not gonna hurt to recommend and give our reasons why. We have renters, is one. What was the other big one that we get from this? Or is there anything else that we
that
get?
it probably does not include the title transfers without.
Right, that one.
Or it's pending.
True. But I think renters is big too. You know, renters are potential buyers as well, and they're members of this community living here. School, commuting. I think that's fantastic. I'm okay with using both, but I think the next question that we would have too is, as you said, John, should we do 3 months or 6 months at the recommendation? Holly, you said that was June.
I went back to June.
So that's 6 months gets us 129,
49, so
149. So 6 months will get us about 150, 149 if years ahead. How many should go back though? How far did she go back? The year, right?
Yeah, it would have been a year from whenever I did this August.
Okay. So I think if we have a few extras, that would be up here. I'm not too sure how many, I guess with the renters we might get. So maybe say it's safe to say we could expect 160, 175.
Total.
In a 6 month period. I think that seems high.
Yeah.
I think we will. I'm not sure. Right, we will definitely eliminate these. I'm not sure how many we would eliminate off that yet. They would all definitely be separate. I think as we'd have to discuss, okay, do we want to try send one anyway? That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
I'm not sure the situation. And I think if you know the price isn't too high, it's worthwhile just trying. So I guess the question is, do we want to say there's about 150? There's definitely less than 200 6 months. There could be more at any given time, and there could be less. Figure that 3 months would be half that. And you want to do 3 months or 6 months? And it comes down to, hey, I moved in here in January, and now I'm being recognized in July. That's the question. Is that too far? Again, I would personally think, well, this is kind of nice, you know, maybe not think too hard about it. There might be people saying, hey, but I don't know.
That's twice a year.
Twice
it's
a
hard
year.
to predict
Every-
what people will think.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Everybody's so different that way.
yeah.
And renters too, I mean, it's possible that
Renter
renter could be gone if we waited So
That
you're
is,
sort of,
Right, right.
and like the, if they're gone, there could be somebody else new there.
Yeah, right.
And then.
you just like trust it, and yes, newsletters, but if it is something they need, gonna get forwarded to wherever it goes, wherever.
I just thought another way that we could cross people out there is if somebody moved twice in 6 months. But the same address is on there twice, something, first one, had to sell it from here, and 3 months later. I think 6 months is okay, and one thing we could do as well is if we advertise, not so much advertise, but we don't hide the fact that part of what the communication committee does is we write a welcome letter twice a year.
Yeah.
Residents, and then it's a given. So new residents, right? We reach out and welcome, because that way there's not, hey, how can you do this? Oh, that's just what you do. Well, that makes sense. That's nice that you all do that. That's hopefully what we can get out of that. I'd be okay. That's just a matter of us checking 150 names, but again, I don't think that's too sincerely. We would, even when we looked through the other list of businesses a while ago, it was like, oh no, I know this one's gone, and pass it down and make sure there's, and then any stragglers, we can just do the physical. That's it. Okay. So again, I think we should, and I keep saying use this, I would just call it leads, please. So should we recommend that? I think that is agreement that yes. Because we do have renters. The price. Also looking to have 6 months. And I think that brings us to our draft letter for Chairman Burgundy, which we can include now as well. I don't think we started this letter when we talked about what we wanted to include it, correct?
But we brainstormed this.
We have the brainstorm, yes, brainstorm here, right? And we didn't finalize it. This one, yes, it's dear new resident from Lower Southwick Township. Yeah. Welcome paragraph that we figured would be from the chairman, anything he would want to say, if he wanted to.
Well, yeah, I thought he wanted us to draft.
We wanted to draft something, so I think that'd be best.
So I think we need to draft something for that welcome paragraph, but ultimately it comes from him.
Correct, and then he will approve it. The Lower Township communication channels through which you can receive or access additional information about the community, questions, comments, or concerns to the township staff.
And this was the conversation of having some kind of brief description about these, because not everybody knows what the constant contact is. So
it might be best to knock off a description first real quick, since we do that, then go back to the welcome paragraph. Is that okay with everybody? I think that's the easiest way to do so. The first description would be text message alerts, or as we have it ready, monco.org, but maybe receive important township information on your phone. Receive important township alerts on your mobile device. Open to any suggestions with that. That's one suggestion there.
Yeah, when you use the word alerts, it almost makes it sound like it's all gonna be something about safety, emergency, and it's not gonna be. So I don't know if we want to
township news
and maybe
I say on the Reggie Monco site, it says just program delivers alerts about severe weather and other important events in Montgomery County. And to the devices of your choice.
should we make it known that you can opt for either one? Because some people might prefer one or the other, some may prefer both. And one way you could say it is customize, maybe, or receive emergency alerts or something on that lines there. Receive emergency alerts or
Township news and emergency.
And the option of township updates. Something on that lines.
Or that they would have a choice between all alerts or only emergency alerts.
Receive township updates or just township emergency alerts. To your mobile device.
Options to receive emergency alerts or township news. Township notices.
Or are we making it too complicated?
Or just put all types or only emergency alerts.
Receive updates or just emergency alerts on your mobile device while we're Salford Township.
I like
that kind of-
receive township
Township
updates.
Township
Receive
Township updates
or
and
And emergency alerts, yeah. I like that.
or just. Now we'll rewind to YouTube so we know exactly. Receive township updates. And do we want to go and or do we want to say or just? I like it. Or.
Yeah.
So we just, I like that, emergency alerts. Word emergency alerts, or just emergency alerts. I mean, emergencies.
emergencies by nature.
Emergencies kind of important. It's kind of redundant. Receive township updates and or emergency alerts on your, and yes, I'd say that to your
On your-
two devices.
Of your choice.
Everybody okay with that?
Sure.
Sales prize for our township, I like it. Sounds good.
Receive township alerts and or emergent township
Township
updates.
updates.
Receive township updates and or emergency alerts to devices of your choice.
That would be, put in an example of a township update, for example, like a road closure.
That's a good point. Do we want to do some kind of examples as well? It only take one more dash to do some.
Yeah,
That might be good.
Yeah, example.
Maybe we should give a.
well, yeah, I just think offering an example or two, to make
Perhaps.
it more, or seem more pertinent to people, because a township update could be the time of a meeting 2 weeks from now. And a lot of people don't care, need to know that now.
And that's a great point, to especially to emphasize what the update is, obviously, the emergency alert, or the figure flooding,
Right,
road closures. But I still think it's good to have that on there. Road closures, I like. And what do we think for an update? Township meetings, what's happening in the township? We have
You
great
could write like township meeting and events.
township upcoming meeting and events.
or event, how about event reminders, something like that.
Yes, true. Township event reminder.
Township events and reminders.
Maybe we should stick with the meetings to township meetings and events reminder. Is that okay?
Or
Township
meeting and events. Reminder.
Township meetings and events.
Okay.
Do we add one more then? Well.
So what do you-
Make one more emergency.
receive township updates and or emergency alerts to devices of your choice. Examples. Road closures, township meetings, and event reminders.
I think that's good. Feel like we could add more, but that does cover a lot right there. It's kind of no point to overcrowd. Very good. Constant contact. And again, we have lower software constant contact sign up, QR code. Constant contact description really is the same thing as a text alert, except to your email.
Yes.
But you don't get all the
But-
same, you don't get the same emergency. That's correct.
Road's gonna be like that.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, the thing is,
I was thinking
if it's a true emergency, the county's already putting it.
Right, that's,
If you're sending up
Based on-
for constant contact. If I fill in that form, is that how you also get the e-newsletter?
Yeah, I mean, I put the newsletter on.
Yeah.
It's on the website. Everything is usually like at least in 3 or 4 places.
Right.
Yeah.
For people to find everything.
perhaps,
So what goes one place goes another permanently. Like constant contact is every the first of the month, the 15th of the month. But then everything that's on constant contact is, you're able to find it on the website as well, right? Full time, pretty much, unless it, expires or,
perhaps we could say something to the effect of sign up to receive the latest township news.
Yeah.
Something standard like that.
Regular basis.
And we might not, yeah, we might not have to say sign up, sorry, say receive emails. We've simple, receive township email, or receive the latest township news to your email. And then we go with what you were saying there. Bi-monthly, I guess then, and well, it's not just bi-monthly because you do like you said, Holly does a great job of road closure.
Twice a month. So even, I think even though there's others activity, I think I would kind of key on the fact that,
Yeah,
unlike the text messages, this is twice a month.
yeah,
Something twice a month. It's a different kind of chat.
Okay, and I think it's just important to mention, because the main thing is that I think what we're trying to achieve too is somebody sees text, oh, that's me, somebody sees email, oh, that's me.
So receive township updates twice per month.
Twice a month directly to your email.
There's also times that I'll send out 10 emails a month
If
because
it's road
this
closed.
road is closed
Yeah.
and the park, something, it just depends on what's going on.
Right.
Or, I mean, no emergencies, that type of thing.
Yeah.
It's-
So we could even, that's why we could just say to the latest updates, information to your email. Now you're saying, John, that it's better to say, or you're keeping it low so that people don't feel be bombarded.
Well, and to kind of distinguish it from the first one. It's some sense of cadence to it. And if twice a month is they can expect, then kind of key in on that, and the rest happens or it doesn't happen, right? They may get other ones, but signing up for this expecting twice a month.
yeah,
Yeah,
Well, can we say something like twice monthly and additionally as necessary, or additionally as,
yeah, I like that.
yeah.
Definitely.
And try not to overthink it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I say that because the simpler, the better. I was just looking at postage costs, we can have postcards printed if we wanted. And put a QR code on a postcard,
Discuss that
Bam.
possibility.
Mhm.
And then just put a mailing label on the front of it and it's 53 cents to mail versus 68.
I think the reference thing is what wanted there, unless we had that on the front of the postcard.
What?
Unless we had the reference guide on the front of the postcard, that could get probably the same price in the end. Yeah.
Just everything. Thing.
All right, so what I've got is for constant contact. Receive township updates twice per month to your email with special updates as needed.
Very good. I like that. Anybody have any other comments?
sounds good.
Thank you. Township website description. The website for the township. The hub for all, you know, your resource for all the
Have township resources.
best, would you say is the best resource hub for that we offer? I would say so, so the best resource for all.
Extensive resource.
For all your needs, for all your township information. Like, do we need description for the website?
I don't feel like they do.
We hope people will know, but again, I don't know. Keep consistency.
Yeah, for consistency or something.
Even just a simple
Keep in mind too, that new homes.
mhm.
Newsletter. That just went out.
Yeah.
And that happens twice a year. So if you're trying to encompass. You know, like do a mailing letter, basically the newsletter, it does go up twice a year, so. If you're a new resident, you're getting it,
But the newsletter, they don't have to do anything.
that's correct, now.
Right, yeah, and I think what we're kind of focusing on here is where they have to either sign up. They have to go to the website's not coming to them, they have to go there, or like the portals, you know, so. So the newsletter, they're gonna get that, we don't have to, they don't. Have to.
Well, the newsletter has
I would say-
QR codes in it to sign up for everything that you're mentioning.
And I think,
Right.
in conversation, the way that we started this idea was the idea of the personalization and, oh, look at this, you know, let me check this out more, it might drive more people, or. I love the newsletter too, but and I'm sure people do get that and, you know, for the first time, go, wow, but I worry if some people get it, what's this, you know, tossing it aside as well, not knowing that it's coming. Cause there's so much stuff that at least we get in the mail all the time, you know, some of it doesn't make it into the house, right to the recycling. So I think the big thing though is the personalization that somebody might feel, oh, wow, you know, let me get more involved. Let me go to the website. As you were saying, let me do that extra.
Well,
That
making
extra
the
mindset.
impression that you would think a resident mattered to their township.
Yeah, I think so too. You know, we're going that extra mile. We already do this and we do that for everybody, but welcome. I think it really affects people. So the website is your resource for all the latest, for all township information.
Complete resource,
Complete resource.
complete.
Got it. Can you read that one more time? Heard you. It did sound good. Okay.
Complete resource for all township related information.
I like, should we say your complete resource?
Or
Anything?
again, I agree, it's a website, we don't have to say too much, but
Right.
at least we have something.
It looks, yeah, I think keep it going there. I think that's great. Any other comment on that one? Good. I think we're. Resident request portal. This one should have a good description because that is something.
On the website, it says. The resident request portal allows residents to make requests for service and report community concern.
So starting with allow.
Or should we say, would it say a unique portal that allows for something?
Yeah.
No, let's start with allow. We'll see where it goes. You're right. Allows residents, sorry.
Allow.
Residents to make requests for service and report community concern.
There you go. Go with that, Gina.
Mhm.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay. And then, that's it for the descriptions that we have. Any other comments on them? I think they all sound pretty good. We'll have please call. Do we want to have please call or do we want to have please email? For the questions, I think,
You could call or
they
Or just say contact.
contact us, yes.
right.
I think one of the, I mean, we don't want to make extra work for you all, like, oh, what is this about? You know, so it's something that we can just explain. I think email might be better in that regard. Obviously, people might prefer phones, so they always have that option too, but I think we should emphasize the email for that purpose. Any other opinions on that? Okay, so
Please email questions to something.
communications at Lower Southford Township.org.
Is that what we want to put on this stuff? So are they just gonna be asking questions about anything?
I don't know. Yeah, I'm not, do we need to have, please call if you have any questions? We need to have that.
I mean, I think
Kind of
we're
giving
all-
descriptions in that, right?
Yeah.
Giving the description,
Lots of avenues to.
we're telling them to go to the website.
The website's gonna give them any number of any department that's
So-
that they might need to contact, so.
Well, it's a standard, it makes sense to put it there, does make sense to take it off as well.
And
Yeah.
if this goes on letterhead, is the township.
Yeah, the
So,
township.
information.
It's up.
Township information. I'm okay.
Okay.
As long as people have the means that they know they can contact us, and I think that's what we're doing, is saying you can do it. Yeah, the township website is really the way you can contact. Any other comments on anything we have thus far? Back up here. Now, I guess the next question, I know timelines, and I want to make sure that we do definitely go over our reference lists by the end of the year officially here, so we're prepared for that. Just to kind of check it. I know Terry's not here though too, but do we want to do the welcome paragraph now, or do we want to table that? I can even ask Keith if he wants to put or Chairman Burton if he wants to put a sentence or two. Again, he already said he doesn't mind us drafting it. It's something we can do right now. I just know time-wise, I think we should probably go through the reference and then go back to this as well.
Okay.
Is that any other opinions on that? Okay. Very good on the descriptions, I think, and John, thank you for bringing that up. I think this is a great way. It looks a lot better, it sounds a lot better now that we put them into play there, and thank you for that. What we do have with the resident request portal is we did want to check, make sure.
Where you talking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are jumping ahead a little bit to the quick reference guide. We actually still have the draft letter for the committee as well. I don't mind going back, but I just want to make sure we get the quick reference guide, because if Perry, when she checked up anything that feedback, we can just double check. Okay, so the first,
Yeah, I have it.
here we go. You know the first one. Any comments on the scouts or go ahead.
No, I checked all of them and everything on here is still valid.
Very good. John,
Did you just check online, or did you talk to someone on if there was a contact? I want to capture it for like next year, so we know who confirmed.
No, I did it online, and it's checking things like, you know, they'll note that how recent an update was, or, you know, this will change as of, you know, so I kind of paid attention to that.
Okay.
very good.
You know, the phone numbers are valid,
Websites work.
right? With Girl Scouts, it's actually, the point of contact is actually the Girl Scouts.
Eastern Pennsylvania.
Eastern Pennsylvania, yeah. That's why it's GSEP.
Yeah.
When with the Boy Scout troop, though, it was local, with the specific to the troop 137.
Very good. All right,
Okay.
John.
The other ones, Letter Rock, I got confirmation from Dan Walsh-Liskey.
Yeah.
the community center, I had to do online, I couldn't find a contact, and then the YMCA, I got a confirmation from a Chelsea Burke. So, yeah, they're. Actually, I think it was a change. The North Penn YMCA or Harleysville branch is the Early Childhood Center. And then the other one is the Indian Valley branch. So there was a change in the title for that one phone number. Yeah, I mean, what's on there now is North Penn YMCA Harleysville branch. And it's North Penn YMCA Early Childhood Center. Right? But then the other one's the same, North Penn YMCA Indian Valley branch.
And I'm okay making that change on there then. Are you okay with that?
The early childhood center. Yeah.
It's more defined too. So, I will say, as I'm looking at these, I think I do remember that Terry didn't mention to us since we broke it down and didn't give her any. That makes more sense. And I'm like, oh, okay. We approved these, but I just wanted to double check. I knew this was one of the priorities I wrote down on my agenda. So thank you. I checked mine. The Perkiomen and Watershed was correct, and I did actually just do that through the website as well. And I know that has not changed. In Heckler, we have a correction here with the phone number. There is a different phone number that the website is correct with the Facebook, and I did reach out to one of the members. I didn't hear back yet, so I looked up on their website today and saw that the phone number was different as well. So I corrected the phone number. I can confirm this hopefully when I hear back. Double check it. I have another contact too.
What's the phone
The
number?
corrected phone number that they have on their site is 215-538
538
0853.
5.
The fire company is accurate. There is on the website though one more thing, and this is something that we could discuss whether we want this or just direct people to the website. I don't know if we did this. There is an email out in the contact. It's an email that they have. It's just harleysvillefire89@gmail.com. I think if we have the website, somebody could find that if they need that, but just wanted to point that out there. In the landlord tenant questions, I actually wanted to have one thing I noticed, and I wanted to have a quick discussion of opinion here. Yes, the number is correct. The number there is the number of the Bureau of Consumer Protection specifically, but I noticed just going around the Attorney General website that they have a main number, but there is a lot of different resources on the Attorney General site as well. Would it be best to, or should we put additional resources up there as well, or do we want to keep what we have there? I forget how we came to that. And it makes sense, landlord tenant questions as opposed to any other questions as well. And some are, most are like, renter questions, which will fall in there, but they have everything, okay, do you want to report this question about this? What is this? I don't understand this. There's an FAQ that has dozens of things that we have on there. And the Attorney General main office number, they have a different number that could direct you to where you wanted to go as well. And I guess my question was, my phone. This is the case, but I did bring up their website. Easiest way is, do we want to list different resources on there, or just stick with the, or how did we come up with landlord tenant questions as well? I know it was over a year ago that we had it, so we surmised that at some point. I don't know if anyone was tasked with that part.
How would you summarize the other resources?
Let me look at that.
Because if you're on the website, like, we're just providing the general website, right? So like,
Right.
if they had something that was tangential to that, they might just go on the website and find it.
And I think that could be the main thing, but it does have contact us for everything from APA concerns, seal, do not call, PA contractor, lookups, report anonymously drug-related child predator tips. There's all sorts of things on there. That's just it's a lot of resources that honestly I just wanted to, I didn't know, I was like, oh, that's right, you kind of like that. And I know we have the landlord tenant questions, which is good. And that number just takes you to the Bureau of Consumer Protection of Pennsylvania, but the Attorney General, and I noticed that only because I noticed that the number was different. Like, wait a minute, that's what had me going around the website.
So should they be two different lines? Is that what you're saying? Or do we?
It would be the correct number, I think, for landlord or tenant questions. Bureau of Consumer Protection seems to be that one, but there was a lot of different phone numbers on there for all different departments. The main number for the Attorney General is the 7171. So just a thought process, whether that could be everybody goes home and looks at it and make a decision, before we finalize. And that's how we can do it next time. There's just a lot more different resources on there that I did not know.
But if I call this number, I mean, what I would expect is a number that at least gets me someone who can redirect, or that it's not a wasted call.
Right.
I don't want to.
So the main number then is a 717, and I'm assuming that could get you anywhere. And the resources are so many: family members, kids, seniors, military veterans, general protection, civil rights, consumer advisories, home improvement, identity.
And can I get to that if I go to attorneygeneral.gov?
Yep, you can get to that.
So,
And then,
so I think.
so do you want to put the main
without listing a whole page of stuff?
Right.
I think the attorneygeneral.gov is good, but I'm questioning the phone number.
And that's exactly what I'm saying, Don. I apologize, but yeah, that phone number not take you to the Attorney General. It just takes you specifically to the Bureau of Consumer Protection.
So should we list separately the Bureau of Consumer Protection with that number and a different number for the Attorney General?
That's the question. That's exactly.
If we gave them the general number, then put, any issues,
Including.
yeah, and then give the specific number specific to landlord tenant questions.
And you can see, there's the list is huge.
Right.
Right. And then they have healthcare matters,
Right.
Medicare fraud, coronavirus updates. It's
So much.
It is a lot. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Some of these wouldn't fly. We want people to go here, but other things like, again, concealed carry information, all sorts of stuff in regards there. So and that's exactly, thank you for summarizing that better than I do. We want to have, and I think what you said could be an option, the Attorney General office, including landlord tenant questions. I just don't know how we surmised that was the one thing there.
Yeah,
And it's good to have. I just didn't know there were so many until I looked it up. Another reason I wanted to get to these. And this could be something that we can look at and decide, but I think it's good to have the Attorney General office main number on there. And
right.
do we want to have landlord tenant, or do we hope? I don't want to assume or hope that people would know if they have a question regarding that. I like the Attorney General's office, including landlord tenant questions.
Yeah.
I would say give a broad number, a number that would broadly contact them to report just about anything they may be concerned with, and then be specific, because we focused on that as a concern that residents who are tenants or, should have some resource to turn to. So I think we need to include that specific one.
I think so. And that's a good point why we brought that up. I was trying to remember exactly.
Right.
That would be one reason.
Yeah, because there's so many residents that are renters who kind of feel powerless.
Yeah.
If there's something bad going on or whatever.
And having the main number.
We have room horizontally, so are we saying that listed as Attorney General, including landlord tenant questions, and then the Attorney General website and main number, and then separately the Bureau of Consumer Protection with the 2555 number?
Yeah, we could have. I see what you're saying. Well, we could list both under landlord tenant like that, or just hit over to decide. I think. Are you asking to put both of them on there? Both phone numbers? Because we could just have the main
Yes,
number
yes.
that could be directed to
That-
where the.
That's what I'm asking. Is do we have both, one being Attorney General, including landlord tenant questions, and then the other one being the Bureau of Consumer Protection with the same 800 number we have now?
To just add the additional. I'm okay with one number, but I'm okay with two numbers too, really. I guess the consensus of, opinions here, but I think one number could direct people. Let's say they have a question and they might call and they say, well, actually, it might be better suited
Right.
here.
Yeah.
That would be their job to do that. We're
Yeah.
kind of trying to give them the resource. I don't want somebody to be on the phone for an additional 20 minutes if we could just give a standard number, but we might know. And that's what you're saying. You put those. So I would be okay with one number. We also have the website, which
I was gonna say, the
check
website
out.
would give them everything.
Right.
Yeah,
I would hope they would check out, and I think back to what Dean said, to emphasize that this is a good resource for a renter,
Right.
a tenant. And then I guess it just comes down, so landlord tenant questions, maybe just say, contact the Attorney General. Or do we say Attorney General, and then underneath say, for any landlord tenant questions?
Yeah, including landlord tenant
include.
questions or issues. Yeah,
Or even a resource or valuable resources, including those from landlord tenants.
I like the Attorney General, including landlord tenant questions.
I liked it too, I just didn't want to leave the other options out for anybody. I think we get too distracted.
Then the main.
The main number then I give you.
Yes.
717-787-3391. And the site that I showed you right there, that's right on this, the main site right there, everything.
yeah. Yeah, the idea is to give them a number that gives them a portal, which they can then access lots of numbers.
That was the only,
And the Bureau of Protection, the 2555 number is just coming off, right?
I think we could take that off.
Okay.
That's agree with that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the only comment I had on that. This is why I wanted to get to a quick reference guy too. It's good.
Yeah,
Because all of a sudden that was a whole nother window of, oh, we didn't
Yeah.
think about these resources, at least I know I didn't. Any other comments, and thank you.
sure.
Any other comments or questions regarding our quick reference guide? Yeah, so I think what we can do next time, and this is still kind of new to us, and I'm not cutting the meeting right now here, but with under new business, we can put on for next month just to vote and approve the next version of our quick reference guide.
Okay.
Again, as I mentioned, I'm okay going back now as well. I know typically we've been having meetings go about an hour, and I don't want anybody up any avail. This isn't it is something I think we're close to getting done here. Let it go, but I think I can leave this to the committee and a consensus of what we want to do here. If we want to continue this next time, I do think we did get a lot covered with descriptions, get Terry's input as well. But
Yeah.
I'm okay waiting, and I'm okay doing it tonight.
Well, the resources are already available.
Yeah.
So,
Well, even if we don't fully draft the paragraph, the welcome paragraph.
I don't think it needs to be too soon.
Yeah. I just wrote down too quick.
Go for it, go for it. If you have it, then we're good.
Welcome to Lower Salford Township. I wanted to personally reach out to make you aware of resources that are available to you.
That's fantastic.
I mean, I know it needs to be like,
But that's
Pretty
the gist of it. I don't think it needs to be, and that's why I wanted to say to Chair Perkins, look, just 2 sentences. Do you want to say something like that? We have everything else out. Here it is. I guess the question is, do we want to put that completed now? Because I'm okay just etching out a
Yeah.
couple of sentences.
Welcome to Lower Southbridge Township. I wanted to personally reach out to make you aware of resources that are available to you.
On behalf of the township,
Yeah.
on behalf of the township, I wanted to extend a
Oh,
greeting
yeah,
Yeah,
I like that.
and invite you to check out all that Lower Salford Township has to offer. And I don't think it really needs to be much more than that.
something that are hero points of contact that you may find helpful as you transition into the new community.
That's
Sounds
beautifully.
fantastic.
Beautifully.
And that's what I was saying earlier. Usually when I give a couple of answers,
Yeah.
there's an obvious one. I do know there's an obvious
Yeah.
one. I'm just trying to give all options.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm okay then, just rewinding that and going with that added to Jess and
Yeah,
for next time as well. If that's okay with everybody there. Now, I think it's not on our agenda here, but I think it should be noted that we will reorganize next time. Isn't that how it works at the start of the year as well, Holly? So if you remember, Holly will open up the meeting and then we re-elect chairs, vice chairs officially. That's all for our reorganization, correct, Holly? Or do we have anything else to? Okay. And then we go on with our meeting.
Right.
So for next month, we definitely want to double check this letter and finalize our quick reference guide. I wrote QRG and I've never read it that way, so I'm looking at QRG like, what does this mean? Thanks QRG, what is that? Okay.
So, and I'll get the exact wording off of the recorder. Put that into the draft letter and I'll send that out. So everybody can eyeball that.
Okay.
Potentially you can take it to them and say,
Double check.
Here's the start.
Okay, but,
yeah,
right,
let him tweak it if he sees it.
right.
Yep.
With that, I think we can, and our next meeting, will be next year. January 17th. I have it on my calendar for here, but I can officially say the date here. So, everybody else okay on the 17th?
As far as I know.
With that, then, we have anything else anybody would like to bring to the table or mention? Very good, everybody. Thank you for your time. I know the season's hard to get to. I hope everybody has a great holiday season. Holly, thank you for coming out here as well for us. Appreciate all you do for the whole
Your
year.
Nittany Lions. Nittany Lions apparel there. There you go.
That, do we have a motion to adjourn? A motion, do we have a second?
I will say.
John, thank you. All in favor? Please say aye. Aye. Those, hang around. Thank you, everybody.
Anybody can go to the hangar.
Yeah.